about the recapture. Okay, so you've got a windfall at the end of your 5 years or whatever. You're going to go into your next deal. How does that recapture affect you?
You're talking about the depreciation piece of it?
Yes.
Okay. Let me preface this by saying that anybody who is getting into their first deal today will probably not have a huge benefit, if any whatsoever, on this depreciation stuff. Bonus depreciation is essentially, this is the last year of 100%, next year's 80. So let's take a possible deal. You get into a deal, your first deal right now, you'll get 100% bonus depreciation on the deal, perhaps. I've had them run somewhere between 50, 60 up to about 109, I think I got on one deal, which was sort of cool. So you get all this depreciation, and then you're going to go and talk to your CPA, and you're not going to be able to do anything with it unless you already have property. Now, if you sold a house to get into multifamily, you were already in real estate. So I'm not counting you. I'm talking about the guy who walks into real estate for the first time. I used to think, well, if you sold your Tesla stock to get into this, that would work, but it doesn't. It's a different bucket. And so you can't use it against that either. So what will happen is that depreciation will sit in the bucket, and it will last for the 3 to 5 years before you sell the property, and then you'll get to use it. Well, it will cause you never to have to pay any tax on the rental income that they distribute to you. I mean, that'll cover all that. But essentially, it will really look pretty much like it never happened in the first place. So, God bless you, and don't be oversold by the words depreciation. But if you had that house, or if you had that prior property, and I sold 6 this year so far, looks like I'm going to be up to 9 or 10 at this point. So I've got a huge amount of capital gain. So I'm getting into a new property. Let's say I have 500,000 capital gain or more. Let's call it 500, do math. So if I get into let's see, 5 more deals, and I'm putting in 200 a piece, and I'm making getting 50% bonus depreciation on those things. This time I now have 500,000 of depreciation. So that will wipe out all of my capital gains. That's the worst case. And I will have no problem, I'll have no tax income at this point. Write down the number 26469, Internal Revenue Code. It's called Title 26. If you read that, it's let's see, paragraph G is where you want to go. There's some really cool CPA language in there, and this is a gray area. Now, if I end up in Leavenworth, I'd love for all of you to visit me, but my CPA says this works. I've seen a couple other CPAs that I believe in, they say it works. I know a couple of them that say, you can't do that. So let's call it a gray area. But there is a clause in there, and I can read it to you. I can almost quote the thing, but there's really fancy language that makes it hard to really say how it works. In theory, what I can do with that 500,000 of bonus depreciation is I can use it against my income. That only happens on the disposition of an asset. It does not happen for a non-real estate professional. Again, non-real estate professional. You talk real estate professional, you got a spouse who's a real estate agent, we're a whole different ballgame, and I can go there too if you want to do it. So as a non-real estate professional, I can only do this when I dispose of a property. I now have a ton of depreciation from this year on multiple properties. I then essentially, it goes into the bucket, it all gets stirred up, and it goes against my earned income, sort of, and essentially I end up paying all of my income at capital gains rates instead. So it's like really cool.